we are going to find the factorial of a given number. So keyboard input, if I give 5, then the factorial of 5 is calculated. That is, it will be multiplied like 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, and totally 120. So in the logical part, how it is possible? So it is a multiplication, kind of a multiplication. If there is a number from 1 to 5, then 5 times it is going to be multiplied. 2, 3, 4, and 5 times it is going to be multiplied. So the iterations are given in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you need a for loop which is going to be repeated till I less than or equal to n. So 1 to n, I value is going to be 1 and n is equal to 5. So 5 times it is going to be printed. Then here there is you can able to see the result. You have to store it in a variable. And what is this result? First time it is going to multiply by 1 into 1. So that means that is going to store in F. And the previous multiplication result is going to be taken, and that is going to multiply with the iteration. So 2, that is 2 is going to taken and multiplied with the iteration, and the result of previous one is taken and multiplied by. So the result you have to store it in a variable. That variable you have to multiply with the iteration. For example, f means f is equal to f into I. So this is the logic that you have identified. How to do this program we are going to see. So you need to read for which number you are going to find out the factorial. So that is n, and there is a for loop I, and you need to store the result in a variable for multiplication, that is f. Now you are going to prompt the user, enter a number. Which number you want to find out its factorial. So that number you are going to ask the user to enter. Using scanf statement, you are going to read that number, comma, ampersand, it is n. And once the number is ready, you just start the for loop. So for loop, it is going to be like I is equal to, it start from 1 and it is going to be repeated for I less than or equal to n and I plus plus. Increment the iteration. Now here you are going to do the formula, that is logic you are going to apply. Here we have identified the logic, f is equal to f into I. And at last, at the same time, here in this program, okay, so f into f is equal to f into I. So result finally f is going to be updated with the factorial of that value. So when it comes out the loop, you can able to find out the value. So just print it in the variable which contains the final result. So here comes, you want to print the factorial of that particular number if you want is. So that is the number if you want to print, comma followed by the factorial, calculated factorial. So that also if you want to print, you can do a little formatting by this way. So you can enter the number. For example, if I enter number 5, so you didn't initialize what is f. So that is why you're getting this kind of value. So you have to, because f is started with 0. If you didn't assign value to f, it will be by default it is 0. So that is why we have got the result 0. Now when you update f with the 1, you can able to see here the value of 5 factorial is 120. So this is how you have to do the program. So you just start from 1 to that number, and then for each iteration 1 to 5, you are just multiplying with the previous multiplied result, and the final result will be, overall result will be available with f. And after completing the final for loop, the value which is available in the memory of fetching, and when you print, you will get the final factorial of that particular number. And you have to remember that always you have to keep this f value as 1, because if you didn't assign f is equal to 1, by default it will be considered as 0 and you get the result as 0. So you have to initialize the value of f by 1. So this is how you can get the factorial of a number.